December, I built the website over Christmas. And then February launch, March lockdown, and we know where we are now. What I love about the business is its community.
Yeah.
I've made so many genuine friends this past year. It feels like a big community effort rather than just me sitting at a desk writing in isolation.
Hello, my name's Nicole and welcome to The Big Chat. And today we are delighted to be talking to someone very dear to us here at Big Chat Productions. This is Jess from The TN Card.
Hello.
Hello, Jess. How are you?
I'm very well. I'm so excited to be part of this. I've been listening to all your podcasts over the last... I have. And now it's my turn. So thank you very much.
Turn. It is. And we're really excited to have you here because I certainly think from what people, hopefully everyone in Tunbridge Wells knows about you a bit. You had a very big start to your, some people might think you've been going for a lot longer than you have. Because actually, how long has the TN Card actually been going?
13 months. 13 and a half months.
And how long have we been in lockdown?
Well,
12
exactly.
months.
I had 6 weeks prior to lockdown and the rest, yes.
That's amazing. So I actually remember thank you very much for inviting me to your launch. I remember coming along to your launch.
The last time we went out socially.
The last time I went out socially to Hotel Divan. And it was great, actually. You had an amazing turnout. You had a lot of support from everyone in the community, which was great. And yeah, it was really, really good. And then obviously you were on the front of a magazine, which was fabulous. You were on the front of So Tunbridge Wells, weren't you?
Yes.
Is that right? So yeah, which issue was that? That must have been just before.
Gosh, it must have been the March issue.
I mean, literally.
The February launch, March.
Yeah.
And then it came out and then we all went under.
Goodness me.
Yeah,
Tell us a bit.
So I had the Tunbridge Wells launch and the next night I had the Tonbridge launch.
Wow.
Yes, and I was actually sick for the Tonbridge launch.
Were you?
I felt sick as a dog, yes.
Aww.
So I think I just pushed it because when you're doing everything yourself, there's a lot to do.
Yeah.
But it was a great night at Tonbridge and then 6 weeks and then it all changed.
But you're here.
Yes.
And it's going phenomenally well. So tell people that don't know about the TN Card, just tell us about how it came about. Who, just talk to us as if we are absolute novices and we know nothing.
You've got the blank face, okay?
I know nothing. So what is this TN Card?
In a nutshell, it is a reward scheme for Tunbridge Wells, Tonbridge and now Sevenoaks.
Amazing.
So I set up the scheme because I kept reading articles about how the high street is dying. And if you go on Facebook, people lament, what's happening to our town centres, what's happening to the high street. And actually the statistics are pretty scary. So even before the lockdown, of every £5 spent, £1 is on online sales. So that's a huge amount of online retail.
Yeah.
And if those people that were going to independents before are now going online, that's a huge task to ask our small independents. But if you look at the high street, we have so many fantastic small businesses that are quietly getting on with things, who are innovative, have new things to offer. And I just wanted to give them a big shout out. I didn't feel like there was anyone particularly saying, hey, hang on, we do have a great community. Yeah. Look who we've got. And all these doomsayers saying that the high street is dead, are they actually going out onto the high street and spending their money there?
Absolutely.
Or are they going onto Amazon?
Yeah.
So I wanted to give the community another reason to support our independence. And everyone likes a loyalty reward scheme, don't they? Everyone's got their Boots card.
Yeah.
So now there's a reward scheme, a reward card that you can show at independence and have some lovely offers, not just discounts, but little incentives and a thank you that small businesses can offer you for saying, thank you for coming in and shopping with me.
Absolutely. And this is a great, I love the idea, when I saw it and, lots of things pop up and I just thought this was great. I just absolutely loved it. All my team know, they'll tell you I thought it was a great idea. So, and you're a woman going out there and getting stuff done, which is, I'm all for that. So tell me about how you you had this idea, you wanted to stand up for the community, but also where did the actual idea of doing a card and all these kind of things come about? Did this take some time? Because I'm interested in finding out about you as a businesswoman as well.
So I had a parenting blog, so I have 4 young sons, and I'd been writing a blog for
I don't know where you hide those children, Jess.
Well, they're not with me, love. they're at school and at preschool.
4 boys, wow.
4 boys. And when I was expecting my 4th son, I thought I'd write a parenting blog. to tie in with my work as a social media manager. And through the blog, I was working with local businesses, attractions like Godstone Farm, restaurants, doing reviews, doing competitions. I got known for running a giveaway every weekend for a parent-friendly business. Yeah. And I got approached by a company called Visit Kent or Kent Pass. Yeah. And it's a similar concept. So you sign up for a year, you have a card, and it gives you discounted entry to attractions across Kent. Okay. And I was asked if I wouldn't mind managing the Kent side of that business. Yeah. And it just made me think, well, I've invested so much in where I live. I live now in Lye, but I was in Tunbridge, and I have lived in Tunbridge Wells, and I would really love to do something just for our town. Yeah. And not just attractions, but all these restaurants, cafes, shops. So that's where it started. I remember telling my friends, oh, I've been approached by this business, and they said, oh, you should just do it yourself. Yeah. Why not? Yeah. And that's where it started. And it's always felt organic because I've known many of those businesses already. That they just joined straight away because they knew me, and there was an element of trust. And it's just grown from there. I think I decided to go for it in October. December, I built the website over Christmas, and then February launch. March lockdown, and we know where we are now.
But actually, you've been incredible support for people throughout lockdown, because that's the thing. I mean, that was one of the reasons why certainly my timing for the big chat was to do it during lockdown, was because people weren't getting enough support because, like you say, shops just shut down. Yeah. Everything's shut down. Restaurants, okay, some restaurants are able to do takeout and they've done okay, but some haven't. I've got a whole mix of friends that have done okay and haven't. I'm sure you've got people that but you've been great because you go out there, you talk to them, don't you? You give them support, you give them social media support, and you do a lot for them.
Yeah, my focus is basically sharing the stories of the business owners. Yeah. Because everyone knows the signage, everyone knows the business. They walk past these shops every day, and I always wanted to say, look, this is the face, this is the family, this is the business, this is the livelihood that you are supporting when you spend your £1 there.
That's really important.
Instead of going on Amazon. Yeah. And I always wanted it to be personal. And then because I've had the blogging thing going on in the background, and because I've been a social media manager, I've made it personal, and I love being creative, so I take all the photos myself and I write it myself, and I think my passion and care for these people that I'm building a relationship with comes across. It's genuine. Yeah, it does. So I wanted to, time allowing, every day on social media I write about a different business, and I go out personally, and it's been a real privilege to get to know so many fantastic businesses over the past year, and to see them through this horrific journey that everyone's been through. And as these lockdowns were announced, I've had people with tears in their eyes, sharing so many heartbreaking stories, and it's been an absolute privilege to be supporting them and to help in some small way. Yeah. Because if I can just remind people of who's open and what they're doing, then I feel like I've done a good job.
That's amazing. That's really cool. Yeah. I like that a lot. You talk about helping people and the charity that you support. Tell us a bit about that, Jess.
So it was very important to me that there was a charity element to the scheme. It's all about community, and charity is a big part of that. Through my parenting blog, I'd spoken to West Kent Mind quite a lot. I had embarked on a series of parenting talks at Ian Forster Theatre. So I had invited 2 guest speakers before the lockdown struck. One on technology and keeping kids safe online, and one on listening to children and getting your message across, with quite a well
listening to that one.
You should listen to her. And it was called Calmer, Easier, Happier Parenting. Okay. So I had 2 talks, and I was speaking to West Kent Mind about having a talk all about mental health, and particularly as a mum of boys, that is an issue that I'm very aware of. It worries me. I went to a documentary called Steve, that was screened by West Kent Mind in Sevenoaks. I think it was November before my scheme launched. And the chap's best friend had committed suicide, and he set out to write a documentary about the pressures on men, how men aren't as willing as women to seek help for mental health issues, how they needed to reterm the expression, mental health and mental fitness.
Yeah,
So
very much so.
yeah, so men have somewhere to go. That
Yeah.
men feel that they can speak about mental fitness. And I've battled with mental health all my life. I think some people just have that tendency.
Yeah.
And so I'm very mindful looking at my boys.
Yeah.
And if they struggle to communicate in the way that my nieces or the girls I know do, then it's something we all need to be mindful of. So yes, mental health charities like West Kent Mine, they do an incredible thing.
They're an amazing charity.
And particularly through the lockdown, their revenue streams have really...
shrunk up.
Exactly. So it's been fantastic to be able to support the charity over this past year. I've raised just under 5,000 for them.
That's amazing.
Through fundraising, and
that's amazing.
10% of all membership sales go to the charity. So everyone can buy a membership card. It's £20 for the year.
Yeah.
And 10% of that, £2, goes straight to the charity.
That's brilliant.
Which really helps. And then in our member newsletters, West Kent Mind always say a word or two.
Yeah.
And I share about their mental health training and the support services available to them.
That's great.
So it's been very worthwhile.
And it's a shame with all these things, like, with what's happened recently, that charity has been noticed more. So it's not a shame that it's been noticed more, but it's a shame these things have to happen for it to be noticed more, because I know that charity particularly I was looking at one point for the soapbox. I was really interested because I think it's so important, like you say, mental health. It's just, and also, I myself suffer from mental health as well. And but it's not a shame word. It shouldn't be a mental health, mental health, like it's a shame thing. It's just that people that can be very up can also be pretty down.
Absolutely.
And it's just a range of things. And also if you care on a deep level. That's just the way it works. And sometimes that caring on a deep level can get a little bit distorted.
Yes.
And you might need a little bit of a hand and a little bit of help. And I think these charities are amazing because getting into these younger adults,
I know.
It's scary with social media, as we know. We manage it and we work with it in our businesses. But these kids of ours, they're going to grow up and they've got it everywhere. Mm-hmm. It's unfiltered a lot of the time, isn't it? So how do you, with being obviously you talk about your background was in social media, because you've got a great social media platform. You've got great coverage for all your members, which is fabulous. And that background's obviously helped you. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you're quite careful with your kids as well? Because how old are your children now?
They are 10, 8, 6 and 4.
I don't even know you do that. I don't even know how this woman does that. It's incredible. That's phenomenal. Well done just for that.
Like
well done. Chat's over. She's brilliant.
Working towards lockdown ending. I'm also working towards...
You obviously like to be kept busy, Jess.
Yes, my youngest starting school in September. It's going to be a total game changer. I'm nearly there. I nearly have the 4 of them at school.
But do you have things come up with social media with it? 10. I guess my youngest is 10 and she started recording YouTube videos.
I don't know if it's like a boy-girl thing, but my boys aren't really interested in social media. It's more about the gaming.
Yeah, that's true.
Obsessed with gaming.
Yeah.
So we have the battles, limited. But thankfully, I went to my parenting talk.
Yes.
So I have a few
Exactly.
Yes. But it's a battle, isn't it? Because children can never self-regulate. Those boys would be on their computers every day if they could.
Absolutely.
I know everyone battled with parenting guilt during the lockdown, because having a startup and homeschooling, it was just mission impossible.
Yeah.
And my 10-year-old and 8-year-old, they could do a little bit of schooling on their own. But my 6-year-old, he wasn't motivated with his little brother running around. So it was really difficult.
And did you have to sort of slow down a little bit during lockdown? Because,
I should have done.
That's the thing.
I've been working every weekend since it started, just to catch up on the hours. My problem is I keep having ideas for great things that can be done, forgetting that I don't have a team behind me. But yes, I have learnt to understand that this is a season and I haven't been able to do everything I've wanted to do.
But we're coming out of it.
I know.
So that's
how
awesome.
Exciting is it?
It is exciting.
Yes.
And how would you say that the members, has the area of the scheme, the business, has it opened up in different areas through lockdown? Did you always, because you've got lots of shops and restaurants, but I imagine you've got all sorts of people wanting to be members now, haven't they?
Yes. So from the start, I was inundated with
remember.
requests.
The Big Chat's a member.
Well, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's called the TN card because I always had in mind that it could expand to all TN postcodes.
Yeah.
So the focus was initially Tunbridge Wells and Tonbridge, the high streets, but now the directory spans leisure, online retail, children,
Brilliant.
health and fitness,
Yeah.
just because naturally businesses have come to me and, you know, they're independent and they need publicity and help and social media exposure.
Yeah.
So I've just expanded the directory organically.
Brilliant.
It was difficult initially to say no to people, but my focus was the high street.
Yeah.
So if I said yes to every single online business, you know, every online retail, or to trades as well, I've pushed back on it. It would have lost its focus.
Yeah.
So I've had to be,
That's tough as well, like you say.
It's hard because everyone wants support, but I didn't want it to lose its strength, and the brand is the high street. But yeah, the directory is growing, and now we're in Sevenoaks, which is really exciting.
That's amazing. There's lots of things popping up.
Yes,
in Sevenoaks,
because a few of
isn't
my partners have another branch in Sevenoaks, and they would say, "Oh, can we include this shop?" And it's like, no, we're just Tonbridge and Tunbridge Wells. But now, why not? Now we're Sevenoaks, and people travel. If you live in Tunbridge, you do go to Sevenoaks. You go to Knoll Park, and then you pop down to the high street.
Yeah.
And if you're in Sevenoaks, you go to Tunbridge Wells.
Yeah.
So,
and Tunbridge as well. I think it's great to see you giving Tunbridge support, because I think, you know, there is that kind of funny divide. I mean, I'm born in Tunbridge Wells, been here my whole life, and it's funny, you know, there's Tunbridge and Tunbridge Wells are so different, and yet they're so close together.
But they offer totally different things.
I know.
And
Tunbridge has got a castle. We've got a royal in our name, but they've got a castle.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I want to encourage my members that live in Tunbridge Wells to come to Tunbridge for the
absolutely.
castle, for that coffee shop, for the theatre, and vice versa. There are people in Tunbridge that have never been to this ex-business in Tunbridge Wells. So that's a great thing. That members are now looking at the app and the website directory and going, oh, where shall I go? I have a lovely member, Steph, who I'm sure she'll be the first to watch this as well, who's so supportive. She actually messages me and says, who should I go to this weekend for food and drink?
That's so
she
nice.
works through the list of independents and says, I haven't supported them. I haven't been there yet.
Aww.
And she's so engaged, and she's always posting. And we just need more Stephs, really.
And also, I think it's great, because I think what you're doing is come from a desire to help community, and it's come from a genuine need, but also a genuine want. But actually now, even more so over the last year, everyone really has got to look at community. I mean, all these events. Tunbridge Wells has a great community. Just when we've done things ourselves, we've just seen businesses come together, charities come together, people come together. But actually, there's not enough of it going on. But now I think people are recognising that you do have to look after. We've got a beautiful town. We've got amazing things going on in it.
Town.
And there's a lot of regeneration being put into our town at the moment that people either do or do not.
I think it's easy to be negative, isn't it? And say, the high street's not how it was. But it's different. It's changing. And the number of new businesses we've seen, even through a global pandemic, has just been incredible. We've now got a green grocer in the Pantiles that we didn't have a year ago. We've got coffee shops on the other end of town.
We have,
We've got amazing new restaurants opening. Look at Camden Road. At least 3 or 4 new businesses that weren't there a year ago. So there
and
are
is the town, do you feel like
stories.
the town is still, talking about Tunbridge Wells specifically here, do you feel like the town, because it got to a point where there was almost like 3 points, wasn't there? There's Camden Road, the High Street, the Pantiles.
Yes.
Do you feel like that's still happening, or do you feel like it's coming together a bit more? Or I think they're trying to, behind the scenes, bring it all a bit more together. But do you feel like we're going to see even more of that? I mean, there's talks of little marketplaces going up, aren't there? That I'm sure you've heard about as well.
But it's lovely having different.
I like it too.
Different parts of the town. You know where you can go for that.
Yeah.
And they're all they're all changing in different ways. So, just this week or last week, Camden Road, we've got a new fishmongers on Camden Road.
Yes, I saw
Brilliant.
that. Yes.
So before we had Sankey's down by the station. Now there's somewhere we can go at the top of town. Yeah. And the High Street is seeing, Gales has just opened.
Yes,
and several new independents are beginning to open up. We've got a health food shop coming just down the road from Gales.
Yeah.
Everything's changing. Pantiles is now become really vibrant. There's a pop-up shop coming. There's the greengrocer. And the dynamics are changing in all parts of town.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
And Mount Pleasant, we've got the new restaurant. We've got the new Persian Lounge.
Yes.
Which is great. It sits right by the station.
Yeah.
It has a late license, so the bar will be open till 1.
Oh my
so
God,
now
that's going to get messy.
Talk for
when everyone's
yourself.
allowed back out there.
I'll warn them you're coming, Nicole.
I don't drink, but I mean, I still make quite a lot of noise. Exactly. But 1 o'clock in the morning,
Exactly.
Wow,
so now you can come out of town at the station.
Oh.
And on the way up,
literally go straight.
I feel it's very important for me to try everywhere.
I was going to say.
So I have to have a drink at all these establishments when they're open.
Do you have people sort of fighting over your? Because I know when we had Steve Gurney from Index magazine come on here, and I was like, oh, I'm going to ask you what you always ask people, because in his magazine he's always like, where's your favourite place to eat? Where's your favourite place to... And I asked him that conversation, but can you answer that question? I mean, that's a hard question for you, because you're like, my members or my family. You can't.
Exactly.
If I said to you, where's your favourite place?
I could have answered
Could
that.
you name your top 3 favourite places to eat?
What's been difficult this past lockdown is that everyone's doing takeaway, but I live in Lye. So I've been trying to support businesses to buy takeaway, racing home, and the number of cold takeaways we've had in supporting locals.
What is your favourite kind of food to eat? What do you like? Gosh, rather than restaurants.
Have you tried the El Sueno?
No.
Forgive me, guys, for the pronunciation. The Mexican street food at the Lyle.
No.
Absolutely incredible. So as you know, the Lyle opened
I never got to the Lyle. A really good friend of mine didn't take me to the Lyle. He'll know who he is if he's watching.
Oh dear. Well, I've actually already booked a table for when they open. I have no idea who I'm taking, so maybe you can come with me.
I would love to come with you. Let's go to the Lyle and have Mexican street food, please. Yeah.
Oh no, well that's the interesting
Our first
thing,
date. I love that.
So when lockdown happened, they didn't want to bring the Lyle offering as a takeaway. So it's Mexican food, which is entirely different from what you can expect when you go to the Lyle restaurant. But their Mexican is incredible.
Is it?
Absolutely delicious, so fresh. Yes.
I mean, I would just be wanting to go out. It's bad enough, sort of, having sort of been with someone that knows a lot of restaurants and just rings them up and goes, oh, can we get takeout? And you can just get it. I would just be wanting to eat everyone's food and go everywhere if I was doing what you were doing, because you must just get, oh, wow, this is a fantastic offer.
If I go out with the girls, I'm like, oh, well, while we're out, can we pop in here for a drink? And can we go and see so?
Oh. Yes. Have you seen many places go? I know it's sad.
I think it's early days. I don't think we're going to see the effects until we come out of this last lockdown.
Do you think that we will? What's your feelings around that?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to say, but I know some businesses
they're going to be affected,
closed.
aren't they?
Yeah.
And I guess it depends when we all get out, how much of us actually go out. Like you've just said throughout all this, people need support.
But I think things have changed during lockdown for the better in many ways.
Yeah.
I think we've changed our shopping habits. Yeah. I think people are spending less on consumer items, I'd like to think. So people haven't spent so much money on clothing or tech or all those. Yeah. Is that right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Or is it just me?
It is right.
But I feel like
I think you're right. Yeah.
We're buying less, but we're
got
buying
better perspective.
Quality. Yes. So with food, we're going to the local greengrocer and rather than buying mass.
Yeah.
And I think we are spending more consciously, thinking about where the food's coming from,
Definitely.
Supporting these small businesses, because we know if we haven't been supporting them, they're not going to get through.
Absolutely.
It's been a year, for goodness sake. So
I know. And I really hope that we do actually come out of this and it actually does, we just get back to some normality.
I really hope there's that sentiment of getting out there as a community and just celebrating that we can socialise again, we can be back in the pubs and not taking it for granted.
I know, not taking any of it for granted, isn't it? So, I mean, obviously we're super excited because we're going to be helping you get your very own podcast out there.
Thank you.
Well, no, you're very welcome. We wanted to obviously be a part of it, and certainly I think you're great. I love everything that you've done. I love everything that you're doing. So it only seems right to have you talking, and we sort of talked about it a bit.
There's a real connect between what you're trying to achieve and where I'm going with the TN card.
Absolutely.
And there's so much opportunity for a great collaboration.
Yeah.
And I have these member newsletters I send out once a month. But by the time I've written it, it's out of date. The TN card's growing so quickly. I'm genuinely adding a new business to the website every day, at least one, welcoming new members every day at the moment. I've got 1,026 members.
That's brilliant.
As of this morning.
That's brilliant.
Actually, 1,027 because I checked my phone.
1,027.
I checked my phone before
you
our
heard
podcast.
it here. 1,027.
Yes, and two new
businesses
businesses joined this morning. So it's growing so fast, by the time I write the newsletters, it just feels a bit, old news already.
Yeah.
And no one's really got time to read all the messages in their inboxes. But podcasts, by their very nature, it's about people.
Yeah.
You can listen to this
straight away.
Anywhere.
Absolutely.
I've been listening to your podcast. I was listening to your chat with Jess from Vanity.
Were you?
This morning,
it's one
while
of my
I
very
was
first
doing
ones.
the hoovering.
Oh,
so it fits in with your
Jess.
life, and it's a great way. And every 2 weeks, I'll have a podcast. So 10-15 minutes, I'll spend time updating members on
Lovely.
new rewards, what's going on, dates for your diary, because member events can now start up again, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Or start, since we never had them. And then I'll also speak to one of my business partners every 2 weeks as well.
That's lovely.
So just catch up with what's going on, why they do what they do, what they can offer members, what reward members can enjoy with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the lovely thing about that is as well, it really brings to life what you're doing.
Totally.
Because that's certainly for me, for my wanting to do more podcasts with companies, more podcasts for myself, but also work with other companies. And we're creating quite a lot of podcasts for other companies now, is that it does give that incredible voice where you can get across, everyone gets to know what you're about, who you are, why you're doing what you're doing. And it's the same for your businesses, isn't it? They get to come on and have a chat and they talk to you.
Yes.
And also reward schemes, because like you say, there could be things coming up every week that people want to hear about. So it's going to be fortnightly to start with, isn't it? And you're going to hit the ground running the week that the shops go out, isn't it? Which is, what day is it, your first date?
Well, my first podcast is the 1st of April.
I can't believe that. So it's going to be out there literally. I think we're going to stream it out, aren't we? Literally the same week that the whole
for my birthday.
For your birthday.
Whoa.
Well, no, we'll
Brilliant
stream
present.
it. We'll stream it the week all the shops are going out, and then people will be able to listen
on
to
the
it
12th, yes.
on the 12th. They'll be able to listen to it on your website. Is that?
Yes, so I already have a section.
We'll obviously be promoting you a little bit.
I should
clearly.
hope so.
Yes, absolutely. But
there's already a section on the website for the blog, so you can check in there for all the latest podcasts. And my first interviewee, what do you call it? It's not an interviewee, is it?
I don't know. I just say chat, but
First
it is.
guest.
Yeah, your first guest.
It's Matt from the Green Duck Emporium.
Amazing.
He's such a fantastic guy.
Yeah.
He has a theatrical background, and he was working in the theatre before lockdown.
Yeah.
And now, fast forward, he has a fantastic shop, and he's opening a coffee shop, and he has a cave in the back of the shop. So
was the cave there before the shop, or was the shop there before the cave?
The cave that was there before the shop, and it used to be a pet shop, and I think they had their fish in there. I think, but I only have 15 minutes, so it's going to be a very
You're going to get it out of him.
Yes.
You'll get it out of him. I mean,
but
that's
it's looking
the fun
great.
thing. That's good.
And he's stocking coffee from Tunbridge Wells Coffee Roastery, and it's going to be great.
And the thing is, I think now more than ever, people really do, like you say, they want to know who's behind the. For me, I like to talk to businesses about how they got where they did and their struggles as well, because I think it's very easy for people to see someone that they think on the face of it, social media, they're doing really well, they're really successful, exactly, and actually behind the scenes it's the graft that you have to put in, and the belief and all of those things, and it is rewarding, isn't it, having your own business? What do you love about having your own business, Jess?
That I can take it wherever I want to go.
Freedom.
I don't feel like it's just me at the helm, actually, because every day I'm with a business.
Yeah.
So it feels like a big community effort rather than just me sitting at a desk writing in isolation.
Yes.
And for me, what I love about the business is its community.
Yeah.
And I've made so many genuine friends this past year, and there have been very wonderful, supportive people like yourself, and it's just been so exciting and wonderful seeing the very best of our community. And it's been interesting because there are definitely yes people and no people, and I found out very early on from a few quite negative. I had people phoning me to say the scheme is not going to go anywhere. We've had reward schemes in Tunbridge Wells.
Thank you. There's people telling us that it's not going to work.
I don't want to get involved.
It is working, by the way.
It's not for me. Thank you. And I'm going to watch, but it's going to fail. And I think, goodness me, why do
you need to say that?
Why do you need to say that? Well, it's bad enough having that thought, but
that's a whole other podcast. That's a whole other podcast chat me and you could have about why they need to say that.
Yes, and let's look back to mental health.
Exactly.
But by aligning yourself with the right people, there's nothing you can't do. So, and that's the power of community, isn't it? There's always someone that can do, I created the website myself, but it had limited functionality. And then Larry Hardcastle at Studio 44, he came to the launch. He wanted to be involved.
Brilliant.
So that they did the website for me. And, you know, we've been talking to each other about launching an app further along the line.
Brilliant.
To make digital cards a reality. And there's just so much you can do and you work together.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about seeing how the scheme
I think
grows,
it's going to grow and grow.
because I've only seen it during lockdown.
Yeah.
So where it's going to go over the next year is, well, we don't know, but
I think it's
got a lot of potential.
It's going to get busier and busier, I think.
Yeah, but the more members we have, the more we can support our independence.
Yeah.
You know, there are 338 businesses in the directory at the moment in just a year.
Wow.
338. And that's 70 businesses on Tunbridge Wells High Street and in the village high streets.
Yeah.
That's another 50 Tunbridge High Street businesses. That's a lot of businesses that are actually being supported now through members seeking them out.
That's a lot, isn't it?
It's huge. And then you have the gyms and the beauticians and everyone else around that, and the leisure providers.
And what are you looking forward to getting up to when we do get out? I mean, obviously seeing all your members thrive will be fantastic, and giving them the opportunity to talk about what they're doing. But what else are you looking forward to?
Member events. So I remember at the launch party, I stood up and I said, there'll be member events, and that obviously didn't happen this past year, but I've got my first event, 1st of May. The lovely guys at Charrington's, the cider, award-winning ciders, I should say.
Yes.
They've invited members to have a look around their orchards while they're in
lovely.
blossom,
That's
because they're going to be
amazing.
stunning.
Yeah.
Sample all the produce. I'm going to give all the members goodie bags to take away.
Brilliant.
And it's totally free of charge, because
that's brilliant.
Members are part of this the scheme. And they've chosen to invest at the outset. And health and well-being events, fashion events.
Brilliant.
Fine styling by Fleur. I'm seeing Fleur in Sevenoaks on Thursday to talk about how we can collaborate on a really great fashion event.
Brilliant.
And we have lots of local makers in the directory too. Those local producers.
Yeah.
I've got breweries, vineyards.
Yeah.
We have so much produce in Kent. We are cheesemakers.
We do.
So we'll have behind the scene member events.
What's the stuff that you love the most? What's the bit that you really love the most about all
people.
this? Because you love collaborating, don't you?
I hate talking about myself. This is like my worst nightmare. Sorry, but it is. You're
doing a
beautiful,
good
but if we took the
job.
microphone away, I'd be a lot happier.
Oh.
And I never actually wanted to be the face of the TN card. I always wanted to be hidden, particularly as the blog was all very personal. My boys were photographed all the time, but I was always hiding behind the camera. And I never wanted to be the face of the TN card. But I think there's power in seeing someone living their life, and the passion that I genuinely have. I think there is power in that, people are surprised when they find out it's just one woman leading the TN card and not just like a few suits.
It does, and that's interesting, because that I know from previous experience myself, where I've wanted to not be the face of something so much so that I've been like, no, I do, and you almost get pulled back into it in some ways. You almost get yanked back in, and then when you accept that actually it's your energy and it's your enthusiasm that's bringing it to life. That's an amazing thing, Jess, because, lots of people have probably had this idea maybe and not got it off the ground or not had it in quite the way you have. You've done it. You've gone out there on your own and you've created all of this, and you're still always looking at ways to collaborate with other people, which is brilliant. I mean, I think you should be so proud of yourself. I really do, because it's, it can be hard when other people think you've got a big team around you. I can remember standing in the soapbox with 6,000 spectators and saying, there's 4 of us. There's 4 in my team at the time, which was a lot to be handling 6,000. But it's incredible. You should feel very proud of yourself, I would say. And you probably will have a bigger team. You probably will have a bigger team.
Several times a week, people say, who do you work for?
Do they?
Yes. I don't know whether I look just unassuming. No. I had a lady at a shop. I was taking photos for the TN card. She was like, I don't know much about this TN card business. She was talking to me about it. I said, well, it's a shopping mall scheme. She's like, that might be right. I'm like, no, I can tell you it is.
I love that though. I love that though.
Yeah.
But I think it is. I think I can remember when we did posters, old school posters for the soapbox, and we literally took them out and took them to some shops, and literally went into a shop and I was with someone that was working for me, and they were like, oh yeah, we've heard about this soapbox. We think this soapbox is all right. Sounds okay. And the person that was working for me was kind of looking a bit awkward, like, this is the owner of the soap. But it was funny. But it's because you're so hands-on, which is so nice, because you want to get to know your community. You want to understand.
I've been hand delivering membership cards
exactly
with my boys.
I got one sent. I was very excited when I got mine. I was like, I've got one.
If you receive one through the post and there's no stamp on it, my children have put it through your door.
But I think that's really important. And is that something to you that's important as well? So, because for me, I like knowing what's going on, not just because I'm a control freak, which I'm a little bit of a control freak, but it's really because I want to be involved in it. I do as I say, and I say as I do.
And I want to provide good customer service.
Absolutely.
And if a member has invested and spent £20 of their hard-earned money on a membership card, they should get it quite quickly. And if they have any issues with their rewards and they message, I'll get back to them as soon as I see that, because...
And you're very good at taking photos. I think I was probably the worst. Photography. I think I was probably the worst person to take. I don't like having my photo taken. But you're very good.
I love photography.
Do you?
I love it, and I love writing. So I did an English degree, and I've done a photography course. Yes. So
you're getting
a couple
to
of
use
years
all
from
your
now,
gifts.
I would love to have a team to do the techie stuff, so that I can be out there. At the moment, I have a day where I've dedicated to Tunbridge Wells, a day that I'm dedicated to being in Tonbridge, and a day now in Sevenoaks, because the only way I can support people is to know about their life and their journey and what they're going through, and to be there physically and to take photos and write is the part that I absolutely love.
Brilliant.
So that's the best bit.
That's exciting.
Yeah, so if I can have a team behind me so that I can do that all the time and run member events, I'm happy.
You're going to be busy this year. You're going to be busy. What events are you looking forward to going to, other than your own? Obviously, they're going to be great. But
I have 4 young children.
Yeah.
I don't really get to many events.
Yeah, I know.
But Black Deer Festival is back. Pub at the Park is back.
Pub in the Park is back.
I'm just thinking about all the theatres.
I know.
Oh, my goodness.
There's a few goodies coming up as well this year.
Tom Swift back with the Panto this year. I mean, it's going to be brilliant.
I know. There's a lot going on.
There's so much going on. I can't wait.
So to anyone that wants to find out more about the TN card, where do they go? Hit me with where they go, how they find out about you. I know everyone knows, but in case they don't.
TheTNcard.com is where you go.
That's a great domain.
That's what it says on the tin. Yes.
So they can go there.
Go on the website, there's a section there that says join, and you can either join or you can renew your membership. So if you already have a card from last year, you can extend that, keep your membership number.
Yeah.
You can also download, we have a web-based app.
Yeah.
So there's a link on the website. You can click that from your phone and download it to your phone, and you can purchase membership through there.
Amazing.
And when we come out of lockdown, there are also shops and beauty partners in the high street at which you can pick up membership.
Brilliant. That's a good idea.
Yes, we have 6 partners on the high street that sell membership cards. You can walk in and go out with the card then and there. And
so, and for shops and businesses, if they want to be a part of it, and because this is the thing, you are very flexible with your. I know you have to be a bit limited, like you said. You can't just let everyone come in, but equally, things like the big chat, people if they want to do podcasts, they can get
absolutely.
So you're quite flexible with the kind of businesses that want to be involved.
If you're a business and there's a directory section that you fit under, just contact me at Jess at thetncard.com or message via social, because that's me as well.
Yeah, it's all Jess. Everything is Jess. Jess is there. She'll even come and take your photos, and if she comes and takes your photos and you say, I've heard about this TN card, it is Jess.
However, I have visited one business that hasn't been happy, that has wanted me to take their photos, because even when I've arranged, I said, I'll be taking your photo. I get there and they're like, oh, can you just take a photo of the premises?
Yeah.
And I'm basically begging them to let me take their photo.
Yeah.
Because people know what the business looks like.
Absolutely.
People know what the product looks like. They can look at their own social channels and their own grids to see what their fish looks like or whatever.
People want to hear a bit more.
It's the people. Yeah. So all my photos are about the people. It's very important.
Well, by the time this goes out, you will be going live with your podcast literally the week after, so it's very exciting. So
and you'll have to come on
I would love to come on. I'd love to come on and have a chat as a guest and say, how did this all happen? I've no idea.
Well, maybe not, since I only have 15 minutes, Nicole.
Yeah, I might take a little bit longer.
Kick you a bit.
Yeah, I'm not very good at keeping to timings, but it's been very nice to talk to you today, and I'm really excited to see all what happens for you in the future, because it's great. And I think you're a mum, you've got whether you've got 4 boys or 4 girls, you've got 4 children under 10, which is, to me, you just need a medal for that alone. And
or alcohol.
Yeah, yes. But you're running around really supporting the community, and that's a really hard job. That's one that is close to my heart too. So well done to you.
Thank you.
And we will always support what you're doing, because we think you're fab. Yeah. We're really excited to have you.
And here's to the year ahead.
Yeah, here's to the year ahead for both of us.
We can do together.
I know, exactly.
Bring it on.
Bring it on.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you, Jess.